All right, what is up? I'm here in my favorite gym in Bali, Nirvana Strength, and I thought that this would be a great video to do for talking to you about my journey with the gym in Bali. So when I first showed up here, I was about 155 pounds. I was a vegan and I guess you could say I had a basic two range movement, typical gym style guy movement of range of motion. And I was training at some gyms. I think it honestly cost like 20 cents for a drop in at the places I was in. It was like really where the locals go. And I remember coming across this gym back in April 2020. Someone showed me a shoulder mobility class from them. And and I was like, I went and tried the shoulder mobility and I was hooked instantly. I was like, this is something I've never even worked on. I've just isolated my shoulders. Now my shoulders feel great. I know that shoulders for guys is mostly like a pain point, plus having sore hips as well. So they had classes on hips and on shoulders, just pure isolation. So I wanted to come here and check it out. So I checked it out. I got my first month pass here, I guess you could say, in I think it was June 2020, and then I took 2 months off, I think, and then joined back in September 2020. I started becoming like a full-on member, and from there I did classes for about like 3 months, and then from there I went and did I got my own private program, and I went through 3 phases of that, and then from there I started going back and forth through like a weight gain and basically put on the most amount of muscle mass that I've ever put on. Then, which leads me to June 2021, where I started slowing down my progression and I went into more so of stretching and yin yoga. And then at that point was when I caught Corona. When I caught Corona, I got put out. So at my height, when I showed up to this gym for the first time, I was 155 pounds vegan. And when I left, the moment I left this place, I was 175. So I put on 20 pounds of muscle, which was pretty incredible. Now that took a bit of time to figure out and what have you. And then when I left this place, I basically I left it at like my weakest place and lost about 10 pounds and was very sick. So then through that period of Corona, I stopped my pass here and just chilled out for a little bit, well, sicked out, I guess you could say. And it just was kind of lost as to how to come back into this place, because I knew that the rate that I was going, like I feel like I attracted that situation in my life and I needed a change. So I wasn't sure in which direction to take my body in. So from there, I just like wandered around for like 2 months in this gym, basically like trying classes, not knowing. And then that's when I decided to get my surfboard, and then instantly did 2 months of surf training. Now, I never trained my body for a sport before, and that was the first time I trained my body for a sport, and did it work. It full on worked. My surfing improved. I was able to charge waves a lot harder, or a lot more productively than I've ever done before. But with that being said, I went out into the surf, and I haven't surfed in 3.5 years. I went out to pretty much some of the gnarliest surf you can surf here in Bali, and I think I just went too high too quick. And actually I think you may have seen this video, but I jarred my back. I got a bunch of scratches in my back from Uluwatu, and then I went to like a high performance wave here in Canggu, and went over top of falls, landed on my board with my arm, and basically almost dislocated my shoulder. But thankfully, because of all the body weight training that I've been doing here, I had range and I had strength, so my arm was able to twist, but it's just coming back now. So then that takes me to 2 weeks of doing yoga, mobility work, and then understanding if I should go back to getting some training done with my personal trainer, or if I should go back to my old program. So I got some of my priorities straight. Obviously, by doing the yearly reflection, that really helped, and I came to realize that it's time to focus on business a bit more than just the body. Whereas, like, I think primarily last year my body was one of my main focuses. So what I've decided to do is actually let that go, and just go back to my old program. So the reason why I'm making this video is today is day one. It's day one of the weight gain journey. So how it works is it's 6 weeks of German volume training where you do a lot of volume, and then you do 4 months of active flexibility. So I know what it took me last time to do this. Now I will weigh myself again, but I believe I'm 168 right now. So I want to sit at 175. I think 170, between 175 180, that I think that would be a good weight. I really like my body at that size. It felt really good, and I felt strong. I felt really strong. But I will say this, that it's the first time I put on that level of size before. So it's like, people are calling me big, and that's like something that I'm not really used to, so maybe it was an identity thing why part of it left for a bit, but now I'm starting to identify with like a bigger, stronger guy, I guess. And so let's see what happens. One of the things I am shifting to is I'm also shifting my diet around. So I'm looking at, last time I took creatine, I think that really helped my body as far as keeping on some mass, and I was doing a bunch of protein shakes. This time, I don't know if I'm going to do protein shakes. I don't know what I'm looking to do. I'm in this in-between phase, so my body really holds fat quite easily. So if you look into, depending on what sources you read from, but I'm looking at doing a keto diet. And part of the percentages is a high-fat diet. Our body either runs off of, I believe it's glucose or ketones, and that's why it's called ketosis. But in order to be in ketosis, you need to have a certain, you need your macros at a certain percentage, and to get your body in ketosis, it's a high-fat diet. And so my girlfriend's nutritionist really recommends being in ketosis. It's like one of the best things for our body to run off energy. And so a lot of us run our energy off of like sugars and like obviously artificial sugars and artificial, all the whatever it is. And so putting my body into a ketosis state will make for an optimal energetic state. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do protein shakes yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to take creatine. I'm really looking at, like right now I'm eating really, really simple, but I am having a lot of fat. Because it's like part of the transition, and it can take anywhere from like 6 months for your body to get into actual ketosis. So I'm thinking it might be like a little give and take, like store a bit of fat on the body for a little bit, but then get the body into ketosis. What I will be doing as well is asking some of the guys here, getting a little bit more dialed in on their nutrition, understanding what their thoughts are. Like I've been getting people's thoughts on what they think about protein shakes, because like there's some like phenomenal bodies here in this gym. So a lot of good wisdom, a lot of good insights, a lot of great people you can ask, and everyone's really approachable here. So yeah, it's definitely, I'm in a good place. I feel like I'm surrounded by a lot of amazing human beings that are very switched on. And yeah, 2 years now here in Bali, and I feel like I'm definitely establishing myself as like an influencer with no following, but like around all the people that have big followings and that are really switched on their body and that are making a lot of money, and I truly feel that the material results are going to manifest this year, and they're going to present themselves. And so this is why I wanted to jump in on this moment and capture this video, just to give you an idea of the journey of my body, the thoughts I'm thinking, and what I plan to do moving forward. So let's see, 168 pounds right now, potentially moving to a keto diet. Let's see if I'm going to take creatine. Let's see if I'm going to do protein shakes. I'm primarily eating carnivore, with eating bok choy, carrots, and mushrooms, onions, garlic, that type of stuff. But pretty much it. I've stopped eating pretty much I've really cut back on the fruit. Something I was working on was cutting back on the sweet potatoes, eating a lot of sweet potatoes, but cut out sweet potatoes too, and just trying to dial in that diet now. But I know that, man, when you hit that crosshair, man, the body, when it lines up, when you line your body up with what food makes it feel good, you line up the exercises that work, it's just so great to see progress in the body. So I'll be filming all my workouts just so you can see the weight gain process, you can see the stretching process. That was fun doing that through the surf training, so you'll get an idea and you'll just be able to see. I'm looking at creating like either higher rep ranges or putting more weight in on the lifts that I'm doing, so you'll be able to see the micro progress on my shorts. All right, with that was my gym journey, and let's see what 2022 has to bring. All right, take care, peace.